Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. So I'm coming to you today to talk about the 5 types of resistance that I've seen come up with the people around me, within myself, within the client that I work with, and I've said before, I am the queen of resistance because most of the time I hate being uncomfortable. And when I don't like being uncomfortable, and I'm sure you've experienced this, you resist things and you don't do the advice that's given to you, even if it's good, even if you know it's good. Because, of course, there's advice that our friends and family give us. It's not great advice, we'll be honest. So obviously we don't listen, but a lot of times they give us good advice and we just don't do it because we have an internal resistance to it. So today I'm going to talk about the 5 types that I've noticed, and I'm going to give you some examples. And this is going to kick off a series of 5 videos where I'm going to go into depth over each type of resistance and tell you how to get over it, because this resistance is what's holding us back from actually making the moves, from actually doing the thing that's going to get us what we want, because the resistance keeps us comfortable. The resistance is our ego who wants us to stay comfortable. The ego likes having a regular job that we get a paycheck from every 2 weeks. Our ego loves that because that feels safe, even if it's miserable, okay? So, I'm about to launch in to the 5 types of resistance, okay? The first one, procrastination. Procrastination, okay? We have all done this in some way or another, guaranteed. Procrastination is the type of resistance where you know what you need to do, you know how to do it, and you just put it off. You keep busy with other things. You're like, well, I could go start writing that blog post, but oh hey, the dishes, I gotta do those. Oh, I have like 5 loads of laundry, I gotta get those done. This procrastination is you letting other not as important but seemingly important things get in the way of what's actually important, which is you writing your first blog post, you getting your new website ready to go, okay? So that's the first type, procrastination. You know what you gotta do, you know how, and you're just putting it off and letting other things get in the way. You're keeping busy, okay, to avoid doing what you are scared to do, essentially, because it's hard to write your first blog post, okay? So, the next type is just avoidance in general. So, this one I'm calling avoidance is you know what you need to do, but you're not really sure. So, avoidance happens when you still need to do some extra research on what you have to do. You're like, okay, I know I need to do a blog post, but how do I write a blog post? What's a good blog post? Whatever. How do I get it on a website? You're lacking the research. So avoidance happens when the task feels huge. Like the task of like getting a website together feels super overwhelming and terrifying, so you just don't do it. And you're like, it's a lot. I'm gonna wait to do it tomorrow, or I'll do it next week. And then you keep saying tomorrow, and then you keep saying next week. And then all of a sudden it's 20 years later and you never created your first blog post, and blogging's not even a thing anymore. So that's avoidance, when you know what you need to do, but you're unsure of how, and it feels really overwhelming to do what it takes to figure it out, and then, of course, do it. So I just want to put a little nugget in here that resistance will come up in different ways throughout your journey. So you might get past one type of resistance, and then a different type is gonna it's gonna hit you in the face, even though you might not necessarily be aware of it. So the next type of resistance is denial. Again, I think we've all been here. We all know what denial is. You get pings. I'm gonna call them pings for now. You get these little feelings, pings, whatever. They're like, oh, I think I should start a blog. That would be cool. I think a blog would be cool, and I think I'd be good at it. I have a lot to say. And then you're like, nope. And then you just try to forget about it. And then the pain comes back and you do the same thing. You say, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. And then it keeps going, and that's it. That's denial. It's like you get these ideas and you just keep saying no so that nothing ever happens. And that is how just denial is another way that fear is coming through and just saying nope, immediately stopping it in its tracks. You're in denial that you need to move ahead with something new. Okay? So the next one, this one is unawareness. So you straight up just don't know. You just don't know that you need to make a change in your life. You're unaware that you're unhappy. You're unaware that you need something creative in your life to keep you excited. You are unaware that you have health problems, okay? This is just complete unawareness. Now, I'll give you an example from my life, okay? So when I first started my entrepreneurial journey, I was just trying to get going at the gym. I thought the answer to my unhappiness was health and losing weight. So I went hard. I was like doing all the diets that were perfect for the people who had really great bodies, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. So I followed the diet. I did the intense workouts. I stuck to it, and ultimately I achieved that, right? But I was unaware of what the actual problem was. It wasn't my weight. It wasn't the fact that I needed to be more healthy, although being healthy is definitely important. That wasn't the root cause. I was just unaware that I was unhappy in my job. I was unaware. I thought I was going to be happy where I was, okay? So that is just complete unawareness, okay? Now, the next one, the last one, is purposeful. This is purposeful resistance. This is where you know what you need to do, you know how to do it, and you decide consciously not to do it. Okay, so this is, for example, we like to drink. I like to drink, we all like to drink. Okay, so this is where you know that if you drink a ton, you're going to get a hangover, okay? If you drink a ton, you're going to get a hangover. We all know. Yet, we all purposely, at some point in our lives, are like, fuck it, I'm going to drink anyway. So this sort of resistance is where you purposely say, fuck it, I'm not going to do that. So, for example, back to the blog, you say, well, I could start a blog, or fuck it, it's too hard, or deep down I'm too scared to do it. I know I should do it. I know it'll make me happier, but I'm not going to. So that's another type of resistance. So I just went over 5 types of resistance. I'm going to summarize them right here. So number 1, procrastination. Number 2, avoidance. Number 3, denial. Number 4, Number 4, unawareness. And number 5, purposeful. So, I've just laid out the 5 types of resistance that I've observed around me, that I've seen in other people, that I've seen in my client. So, I'm laying out just the basics right now, the framework of what exactly resistance is, what types I've broken them down into, and what they mean. So the next 5 videos, I'm going to break down each type of resistance to really explain how you can move past, like what are actionable steps you can take to move beyond this resistance, because again, I know we all have it. I've done it. I'm the queen of resistance. I avoid shit like the plague. Okay, because I'm scared, and it all comes back to this underlying fear, and there's different awareness levels of the fear. There's different awareness levels of why you're avoiding, procrastinating, denying, or purposely saying no to something. So I just really want to get you thinking about where you're seeing yourself do this. So my task for you right now is to just start noticing where you're resisting things, where you're not doing things that you know you should be doing, where you're purposely procrastinating, where you're keeping busy, where are you even unaware of what you're doing. So that is it for my video today. I hope you enjoyed this. comment below or hit subscribe if you're interested in keeping up with what I have to tell you, and if you want to learn the next 5 videos on how to get past each type of resistance. All right, so I'll see you next week. All right.